Oh, we're live. Okay. Well, people are going to start trickling in any second now, as they do. So I guess I'll just hang out until that happens. Okay, we have some people here. Um, Say hi if you're coming in to the live stream, because I want to say hi to you guys. Some of the things we're going to talk about today. Well, first of all, questions always welcome. Second of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about the book, Toppling Tyrants, A Field Guide to Dismantling American Fascism, which you can get for free. And it's 400 pages, totally free. Buymeacoffee.com/VER. From South Jersey. I've spent plenty of time there, let me tell you. I was born in Newark, for those who don't know. Reno, thank you, Joanne. I love seeing where you guys are from. And for some folks out there, by the way, since I have you here, over the next few months, I am looking to be spending more time traveling around the country and doing what I did in Charlotte and in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and in Washington State. I want to meet with folks and meet your state senators, meet your state house reps, meet your city council members, meet your mayors, bring model legislation to them in the next week, SF. In the next week, we're going to be launching the Existentialist Republic Political Action Committee. So that's going to be pretty fun. And that's going to be used to fund candidates who are ready to support oppositional federalism policies that will help us go beyond just the soft secession or the uncooperative federalism of not participating with fascist activities and not just taking care of our residents. All we need, though we need to do that, but also actively working to hold the federal government accountable. Because as much as I'm personally okay, California, Kansas, as much as I'm personally, I just don't really have a problem with, if the U.S. split up into some different directions. I am not okay with the people doing bad things just getting a free pass. That bothers me a lot. And so if it bothers you, there's things you can do about it. Actually, part of what I want to talk to you guys about today, and by the way, if you're enjoying this, hearts are good because they help show other people that they should access this, is how you are an influential person. Boise, love Boise. So you have power, you have influence. You might realize that, you might not, but everybody truly does without a doubt. And there's so many people out there who want to teach you and the working class and just whoever disagrees with fascism that you are powerless and there's nothing you can do. But there are things you could do every day. And you don't always see how that impacts the world around you, but it does. We are all nudges. Enough nudges make shoves. You can make yourself a stronger nudge, but you are. Eugene, Oregon. I need to get out there. So advocate. I hope everybody watching this knows the name of your state house representative. That's very important. Figure that out. Get involved, show up, call them, schedule meetings with them. If they won't take a meeting with just you, see if you can rope a friend or two into it. But state house representatives, I mean, you can actually influence a state house race. And if they try to tell you that something isn't in their jurisdiction, say, sorry, I don't vote for lambs. I'm looking for lions. I mean, in the general, you can, but you don't have to open with that. And that's really what it's about. Arkansas, I like, what? I want to go out. Actually, okay, very important. Since I see Arkansas on here, I want to say this to you guys. I am looking for the state Democratic Party that is, I'm just not going to hedge here, the weakest, the suffering the most, the least capable. Um, I want to see if I can find a state Democratic Party that will just say, cool, you have good ideas and you're willing to give us some attention, energy, and resources. So we're just going to listen to what you have to say. And I'm really curious if we can find one. I don't know if it would be West Virginia. I need to do more research on this, but if you guys want to help, we can all be part of a hive mind. That would be really helpful. Um, Questions, tell me where you're from. Do the hearts if you're hopping in right now. Illinois, you think does Illinois, what's their Democratic Party like? I'm curious about that. Denver, I need to get out to Colorado actually. And that's, if we can get me out there, I'm happy to meet with folks and just support, get communities together. When I was in Charlotte, it was so amazing. Hi, Krem. It was so amazing to speak with an indivisible group that has over 4,000 members and spend time with them, do like a luncheon with their leadership, meet with state house and state senate representatives, learn about the makeup of Charlotte, Wisconsin. I'm definitely interested in Missouri. get me out to these places. I wanna be there, and I just, keep expenses low because I try to put every dollar I can into the different projects that we're working on. Once the pack launches, hopefully the next week, that's going to mean that we're able to like do flyers and advertisements that say, "Hey, your state House representative wants to put out a bill that helps the state investigate the Epstein files to fight the cover up and actually throw these people in jail so nobody gets to be above the law." And imagine mailers like that going out, and none of this hyper targeting everybody. The Democratic Party, who I don't work for, but they have a 40% approval rating, and they're kind of, I don't know. Everybody's allowed to have their own feelings. I figure they're our home team, and they're really not doing good. And so I'm going to see if I can help find lions instead of lambs because there's just too many lambs in that party. And, maybe they're paid a little bit extra and that makes them more docile. And so what we got to do is get some lions out there, get them attention, get them attention, get them fighting. I'm very happy I don't work for that. People often ask me why. Hey, are the Democrats, are they hiring you? Are they listening to you? Is the party listening to you? I'm like, their job is fundraising. That is that's just the reality of how the party runs itself. As they say, they want more. I appreciate it, Krem. They just want more money. They want fundraising. It's just a sad the way that they assemble political parties. Is that cat hair on me? Oh my goodness, this is all cat hair. I'm sorry. I just was holding one of my cats and he has a lot of cheese. All right. Anyway, uh, yeah, actually I'm working on an article about controlled opposition because I've been thinking lately about how controlled opposition. I think that at least I was misunderstanding it, and I think most people are. What does it mean to be controlled opposition? I don't think it actually means that you just take a check from the fascists and just do what they want. I think what controlled opposition is that you're incentivized to make suboptimal decisions, and two, that you are rewarded for fighting back in ways that are also suboptimal, and then three, that if you just keep showing up and not going outside of the box in your opposition, that you will continue to be rewarded and get reelected and get donations and get people telling you, especially the media, how good of a job you're doing. But if you step outside of that box to more effective opposition, then what you're going to have is really gross mob tactics thrown at you, and fascists are just going to do everything they can to tear you down, and even intelligence agencies and that sort of thing. And so controlled opposition, I think engaging with the reality of it is an important part of influencing existing politicians who can be influenced. I don't think they're well, and also an important part of that conversation is two different types of influence. I think negative influence and positive influence are very important. So for those of you out here who live in red areas, you have the ability to use negative influence. And what that means is just eat up the bandwidth of the bad guys so they have less attention and resources for fascism. And so whenever I mean, even if it's eating up the attention of their staff, that'll kind of trickle up. And so, whether it's sending angry letters, trying to show up at their fundraisers to protest, finding their social media. I mean, if you live somewhere with a Republican representative, you should probably be banned on every social media platform that they have. Then go comment on their stuff. They say, "Hey, I went to this fundraiser today," and if you can find something really pointed to comment on that, you don't have to just cuss them out because that's a little bit less pointed. You say, "Hey, how come employment in our district is down X, Y, and Z amount?" Or "How come the tariffs are taking $1,700 out of every single person in this district?" To get pointed in ways that might influence their followers, will disrupt them, do it on every platform they have, and just keep doing that. And until you're, banned from all places from them, and then showing up at their offices. And if they're not at their offices, it could be funny to like put signs up on their door that just talk about what a bad job they do. Really get creative. You can make art about how bad they are. Make sure everybody in the district knows who that representative is and knows how horrible they are, because you can be bad PR for them. Uh, get banned, exactly. And so what else? Oh, county prosecutor. Wait, no, okay. Before I get to county prosecutors, I gotta talk about positive. Even the Citizens United Democrats, having knowing many of them can still be influenced if they think they're going to lose an election. Republicans have this information sphere that really insulates them from electoral consequences. As of today, Trump still has a 36% approval rating. That's not the lowest his approval rating's ever even been. It reached 35% in his first term. Um, but you can affect especially a Democrat's election. And so you can have positive influence with them by, carrot and stick and talking to them about specific things and letting them know what you want, letting them know you're organizing people and educating people. And that's going to make a difference. Now, the other one I wanted to talk about also, if you find this useful, press the hearts and tell me where the heck you're coming from and join in the conversation. So, county prosecutors. In the last week, I put out an article to help get get um, make arrests and prosecutions happen from the Department of Government Efficiency, from top to bottom, from Elon to big balls on down. These people can be prosecuted. So there's this really interesting thing where with criminal activity that is digital, that happens online, it's usually prosecuted in the victim's jurisdiction. So even if they did it all in DC, every single jurisdiction in the country, hello, Maine, every single jurisdiction in the country could be launching investigations. Now you say, what's our standing? Well, for every state, there are criminal statutes that say, one, this is digital, it is pursued in the victim's jurisdiction. And for most of them, you don't have to prove your information was definitely accessed. You have to prove that information systems that were holding your information were accessed and were treated misused so that your information was in there, but you don't know that yours was extracted necessarily. Now, one of the interesting things that we're learning is that, well, I'm learning as people tell me the responses they get from their county prosecutors who usually run unopposed, is they are lying constantly. They say, "Oh, what's your individual standing?" Even though the statutes don't say that. Or one age or one county prosecutor sent referred it to the FBI, and it's like this is a state criminal statute. That's not the FBI's jurisdiction. And so I'm realizing county prosecutors seem to be some of the least accountable, believe it or not. I really, it's fascinating. And this is something I want more folks to realize about this system, the educate, activate, recruit, repeat activist framework, the distributed activist mindset is one, politicians are going to try to push you around and big dog you. And that's garbage and they get away with it a lot. And two, that it is all a learning experience. And so if you've been sending emails and sending letters, doing this and doing that, and not getting responses, it's just another data point. Keep looking for more data points. Keep looking for more ways to push back and make their lives difficult or to influence their decisions. And I will say it's easier to make a politician's life worse than to make it better unless you're rich. So they're a public servant. If they don't like it, then they should resign. It'd be great if they did, actually. I would love that. I would love all of them just resigned. Probably a lot of you guys would too. Pretty much all of them. But yeah, local politics is where it's at. County prosecutors, I would love to help more people submit ethics complaints about them. And I mean, gosh, that's the thing. Like these county prosecutors lie. You can call them out on it. You can submit an ethics complaint. You can send a letter to the paper. Call 10 different stations. And if you need help understanding how to do that, you can hit me up and I'll help. I've already worked on quite a few different letters for people who just said, "Hey, this is what my county prosecutor said," and I helped put together a reply for them. And you can also just put their name and say, "Hey, this county prosecutor, Department of Government Efficiency actually committed crime. Like this is against this criminal code, and they're refusing to prosecute it because they said it's political." I actually had a county prosecutor say that in an email to one of our followers. He said, "Well, we don't want to get involved in politics. We're trying to stay local." It's like, look, if somebody in Seattle did what Doge did by mishandling my information, likely using with publicly accessible evidence, sold that information unlawfully, then if someone in Seattle did that, you wouldn't have an issue prosecuting them. But because of politics, you're not going to apply the law? Well, that sounds like a clear-cut ethics violation. And now I'm gonna print that on a poster, and I'm just gonna put it on 1,000 doors in our community. I'm gonna do that because I want at least 1,000 people in our town to know that you refuse to do your job because of politics and that you're a liar. You put the word liar on their face and throw that on 1,000 doors, and that will hurt their reelection chances. You could even say, "Hey, I'm looking for somebody to run against this person because I would love to support somebody else when they're up for reelection." Gosh, all of us have that power. We do. So, hopefully some of this is helpful. If you can, run against these folks without a doubt. If you're looking to run for office and you want advice, guidance, anything like that, you can always contact me. I will do what I can. We also have our Discord server, just at the Existentialist Republic. And so, you know, we just all got to learn how to flex the muscles we have and build them stronger at the same time. And just a reminder, Toppling Tyrants, 400-page book. You can buy physical copies at the existentialistrepublic.com. You can also buy physical copies of the Educate Act. Grab them by the ear. Educate, Activate, Recruit, Repeat framework. That's a booklet. Tells you how to get politicians to do what you want. You can also get the Introduction to Soft Secession booklet. Although the Oppositional Federalism and You booklet is my favorite, I think, of all the things I've done. And all of that you can get for free at buymeacoffee.com/THER in the shop. It's all listed for $0.00. And also at the existentialistrepublic.com, we have like t-shirts and bumper stickers. My favorite bumper sticker is the Abolish Billionaires one. It looks really good on Teslas. Any Tesla, it'll look great. And so thank you. Thank you very much, Kren. I'm so grateful for all of you. I have so much love in my heart for the Existentialist Republic community. And the only thing that I have that makes this all work and just makes me not a guy shouting into the void is that there's 43,000 of you on here and 2,600 on Medium and some scattered in other places who are like, cool, I'm going to go find out who the hell my county prosecutor is and send them an email referring a specific criminal code. Or I'm going to find out who my state house representative is and try to schedule a meeting with them and say, this is a law and it's legal and it would actually help us stop the cover up for the Epstein files. Why the hell wouldn't you support that? And that is the power. We all get to share that together. And I appreciate it, Guthrie. Yes. So, that's not a good. I'm not as good at that. But anyway, questions, send them. I'm happy to take them. We we need you folks. We need to get out to different towns, meet with more politicians. I'm telling you, Minneapolis and Charlotte were such eye-opening experiences for me, learning how many of these politicians are enthused to promote these laws. They're not all geniuses, and there's a politician out there who's just waiting for you to tell them a good idea, especially at the state house level. They are still capable of making decisions based on morality and logic, and you're not going to get that. Even the governors I love, they are just still doing political math when we're dealing with an existential threat. Thanks, Jane. I loved it. I'm gonna be back in Charlotte once we launch the pack. I think Charlotte is going to be one of the first places we go. There's some awesome folks out there I really want to get behind. And so, yeah, you'll be able to nominate politicians who are on board for these policies, and we can do events. That would be great. I mean, I would love to be able to, and if you guys can contribute on buying me a coffee and that kind of thing, once we have the funding, some of the stuff I want to do, I would love to be able to do some sort of an ad campaign where we say things about like Donald Trump and the Republican Party that would be considered libel or defamatory, but would require discovery. That'd be really fun, but we need a lot of money to be able to do that because we are going to need some lawyers. Because he's never sued somebody for calling him a pedophile, right? And so, it would just be great if we could all team up and do that stuff together and just continue to get the good policy out there. And so, yeah. Any other questions before I head out? I just wanted to cover some stuff. Excuse me. Yeah, and just how much I appreciate all of you. And I hope that you'll check out some of the books and booklets and bumper stickers and shirts and get stuff for free if you want it and promote it. And thank you. I appreciate you all so much. I could do this more often too. I've been meaning to. And you guys, maybe I'll do more posts. Check for notes. Maybe I'll do some notes soliciting questions for another Q&A, or if there's people you want me to do live streams with, just let me know. And we could make that happen. I would. There's a couple folks in different communities, so I think it'd be good to mix up with. The trans community gets targeted so much, and I think being able to talk with some influencers in that community and just have more conversations about like intersecting knowledge and legislation. If there's things that you want to see, or people you want to see me work with, or bills that you would like our team to work on, problems you want us to solve, I'm here for it. This is what I do for a living. And so, yeah. Um, Thanks, guys. I appreciate all of you very much.